Let's go! And against LukeZ, Arabian Oasis best of 5. It is currently 9 AM. I just woke like a couple hours ago. Well, by a couple hours, I mean I woke up at like 6 AM. Don't have work today, so here I am. And against LukeZ. We did see Woody and Quas play early on today, which if you haven't seen it, the scoreline was not a representative of how the game went. That's what I was going to say. Woody almost lost to Quas. Woody almost got a game taken off of him, and Quas almost won against Woody for a game on 110 at DMZ, which was pretty nuts actually. But we're on to Ed and LukeZ now. Ed starting on the bottom right is red, and LukeZ top left on yellow, both going Iraq. And we'll see what happens here. Ed's still currently RA2 ranked 1 on QM. And he did an Ed vs World. I think he played 6 series back to back. Not back to back, but in one session. 2 days ago, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 2 days ago, if I'm not wrong. And now he's back again playing LukeZ. Drone getting into there from Ed. And Luke opts for his second drone here. Interesting. Luke's second ref immediately going around the back. Edge as well. Usually players with long distance mine on that second or third miner. Here comes a second drone from Luke. My nose is blocked. What the fuck? Can't breathe. I think Luke might plant that drone where Ed might move his MCV. We've seen Ed actually do a little bit of a weird build where he moved his MCV to that secondary gold and gem patch pretty early on. I think it was straight after his first wall factory. So that was a little bit of a weird build, but that absolutely worked out for him. He was playing against Mikos and just wiped the floor of him. Wait, not wiped the floor of him. Didn't Mikos win 3-0 against Ed? I think he did, but he played against someone there, Ed. And he absolutely wiped the floor on Arabian Oasis when he did this move. So both players opting for a second drone here. Ed's ready on to Rhinos, getting a ref a little bit closer. Luke is gonna long distance that. So 3, 6, 7 minus for Luke, and Ed is on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Luke's a miner behind. I think he did go an extra miner there. Oh, sorry. Wait, what? No. Luke's a miner behind. That's all we know. And he's already making a move here. 3 more factories for him. 2 for Ed. Making a move towards mid here. Good number of rhinos out already. Ed's only got his third just up. Probably has a sentry gun ready as well. So Luke's known to be splitting. Luke's known to split pretty early here. That's a very bad engagement from Luke down in mid. But we've seen Luke actually split really early. He's sending like 2 or 3 groups of rhinos, or 3 rhinos on the bottom, 2 around the top here. So the injured rhinos going around the back, and it's gonna make his move towards mid now. 4 factories up for him. Luke's still on 3. He did down. Up comes a 4th, and he finally has a miner down by mid for that gold. Good positioning there by Ed with the fodder. And both players have to be careful here. Ed's tank control. Background is not really involved in the fight. He's gonna have to back off here probably. Luke is gonna pounce right through, but no more fodder left for Luke. Ed's reinforcements is coming along the way here, but Luke, good micro clicking the rhinos to get rid of him. And Luke seems to be the one winning that fight here. Down in mid. Out comes the forward racks as well. Luke could push through here and just keep pushing in. He's gonna go for that drone on that miner. That's gonna... Oh! Double miner killing that drone. That's huge. And now Ed being out-tanked here. He's gonna get split by Luke down the bottom and along the top there. Gets rid of a power. And Luke's gonna keep pushing down through the bottom here to get rid of those miners. Ed's gonna pull away some of those miners. While he makes a move towards mid, Luke is pulling back along the top. He's gonna fight down bottom right as well. That's gonna push through around the top here. Luke has reinforcements along top left, but he doesn't see them. One runner goes down for Luke, for Ed, sorry, but Ed's gonna push that split all the way back. And Ed's split does go down as well, so a bit of a trade there from both of them. And that was a pretty even trade from both players there, but I don't think any of them got the worst off. Luke did lose a miner, so did Ed. But I think they're just gonna take their time to rebuild here. Luke's already on that third gold patch. Ed hasn't spread just yet. So Luke currently ahead on eco here, and he's gonna take another fight. And we know Ed to be really consistent with his gameplay and skill level, and he's gonna burst through here. He constantly wants to take a fight every single place that he goes, and he's gonna win that fight. Luke's stand control there around the tail end of his rhino is not really great, and he's gonna get those miners. One goes down. Good control to pull back and not overcommit as well. He's gonna rejoin with his reinforcements and then push all back in here, and that is definitely what he's gonna do. There you go. Grouping these rhinos and gonna go forward here. Probably gonna prime the forward war factory. Luke's tank control there is gonna run away from Ed, but it's gonna get a lot of rhinos blown up here. Ed moving his MCV towards the right hand side. That MCV is in trouble, but Luke is in trouble himself with the number of rhinos that he has. It is not enough. He's gonna have to pull back here with an easy maneuver while he makes the drones on the back of that to try and delay Ed from pushing back towards mid. He's gonna go for the miner instead. Another miner drone there for Ed. Meanwhile, along the top, Luke losing more rhinos here. He has expanded down towards bottom left. His eco's not doing too good. Ed's eco is hanging on as well. A bunch of condos along the top there to fend away from drones. And Luke with the lacking of drone control there. Only two of them effective. Ed needs to micro his miners around south there to go back to its top right. But we've seen Luke do this time and time again. He's selling his MCV now to get even on eco, but he's often seen splitting with drones and rhinos in different control groups there. That's gonna make his way towards miners here. Luke seems to be going for the trade, but I don't think that's gonna work out for him. He's gonna pull away for the miners. Yeah, Luke is pulling the miners in as fodder, I think, but it is a little bit too late there. Two rhinos on the bottom right is gonna get squished pretty easily, along with the rest of the miners. Just one leaving on 2 ticks of health. Luke desperately wanting to use his drones to buy him some time. I don't think that's gonna work here. This should be a first game towards Ed. Another 2 rhinos going down. Oof, Ed. There's 2 more drone there. Well, it looks like Luke's drones are actually doing a lot of work here. He is infecting a lot of these rhinos with the drones, but on the back of that, he's not making enough rhinos to deal with the remaining ones, and Ed is gonna be forced to pull back here. More drones coming out from Luke. Ed's eco is still holding on, but it's not looking good here. The more he spams drones, the less he's gonna make rhinos to defend. He's gonna have to get rid of all of Ed's rhinos coming in here with the drones, but that's not gonna buy him some time to make rhinos here. So a little bit half, I would say half-assed, but the plan worked up to about 50% there. It kind of gives him a slow death, yes, exactly, but Luke's gonna play all the way towards the end here. And down he goes, 1-0 towards Ed. Okay, second game of Hack. Your predictions are gonna close pretty quickly, so get your votes in before the prediction closes in 10 seconds. And predictions are closed. So we're on to Hack now for the second game. Luke is gonna start to his bottom left. Ed's gonna start up right. So Ed is again gonna attack. That's what he loves to do. That is not all he does, but that is his bread and butter. Putting on pressure onto the whoever comes along the way. I'm trying to I'm trying to pronounce it like Crazen Boon. I'm gonna call it Boon. This map again boring, let's say. It's very far away. I mean, Heck is a very interesting map. I mean, compared to Arabian Oasis, there's a lot more opportunities for Heck to be played after the match was not scheduled. There's a lot more ways that the map can be played here, Heck. We've seen it many times, especially with the Chinese community in how they play it and different build orders. Arabian Oasis is pretty straightforward. There's only a couple of ways that you can build. But I think Heck is the all-time classic map, you know, made by Westwood. It's a starting map for a lot of tournaments. Even the Chinese have an entire King of Heck tournament around it. So in terms of Arabian Oasis versus Heck, I do think Heck is a better map. It's more classic, but Arabian Oasis is a very good map, an instant classic, as Snock would say. But it's definitely on the same level as Heck. But I do have a preference of Heck over Arabian just because it's a really old-time classic and it's known by everyone and almost everyone knows how to play it. And the fact that there are a lot more opportunities for different sort of game styles and the ways to play it. Well, whereas Arabian Oasis, you have to build in a certain way for you to, you know, support your eco and get a good hold over your opponents. In terms of Heck, you can move basically anywhere and everywhere. So, Sublemon. But I do agree this map is definitely overplayed, which is why we went for Arabian Oasis on the first game for this tournament. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7 minus here for Ed. He's on double war. Luke is drone, first and foremost. And he's on 7 minus as well. I believe he's gonna plant his MCV here and then build down now. So this is again another way you can build on Heck here. Lots of it you can build absolutely everywhere. Original RE2 is Heck gold in middle. But we are playing with the early version for this tourney. Yeah, it might be the wrong version, but the first game on Heck has been played on this version, so we're gonna go forward with this one. Yeah, it's a good build from Luke here on the cliff. It's gonna protect your MCV a little bit more. He's on 3 wars now. Fortunately, of his miners, most of his miners are on 1 patch, so he's gonna have to micro them a little bit more here. Ed is on the 3 wars there, splitting up his miners. That's good. Weird MCV moves, a little bit weird, but a little bit common as well. We've seen this happen again. This is actually a build that's pretty good, in the sense that against someone like Ed, who is gonna go aggro all the way, having your MCV by that cliff means that there's only 2 places that the MCV can be attacked from. So it's gonna make it a little bit more protected there. But in terms of expanding and completing, stabilizing your eco, it's not that great. Because your MCV is gonna take a very long route to move all the way to the next core patch. So split maneuvers coming in from LukeZ immediately here, spinning. He was spinning on the top left and mid, and now he's spinning on the left side and right side as well. It is very quick to realize here. So a little bit more of a chill and passive start here from Ed. Not really going aggressive, but he's waiting for Luke to make a move before he makes a move, I think. Obviously, Luke is very aggressive right at the start of the game here with his small number of splits, which can really catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. Especially on a map like Heck, where it's a lot bigger than Arabian Oasis. So the primary target for Luke here is definitely the miners. He wants to get it somewhere and do something about it. But you see Luke here, his build order, it's pretty weird. He's gonna opt to sell his MCV. Interesting. 5 war factories selling the MCV. The miners are split here, obviously. But it's gonna have an eco advantage here for quite a bit. But I think that MCV split or MCV sell is actually quite a questionable move here. Ravemaker, what's up? Thank you very much for the follow. So Luke is gonna go with a 3-way split here. The split on the bottom right hand side is being pushed back. Split on top left and mid is still true to the form here. So this MCV sell from Luke is pretty weird. He does have good eco. His eco is actually on par with Ed at the moment. But it seems like it's gonna go in with a two-way split here down in mid and top left, and it's gonna pull the top left split away. It's gonna give Luke free range here to go for the miners. He's gonna split on the right hand side as well to take out a couple miners here, but Ed is gonna win the fight anyway. So Luke is primary target there, wants to take out as many miners as he can. But I think he did take 1 or 2 miners there with him. It's definitely not worth the trade there financially wise, eco wise, but let's see whether the MCV cell is gonna pull in clutch with that eco. So he's gonna push the split down the bottom right hand side, while Ed is gonna push onto the middle left here. Again, he wants those miners on the left hand side here. Luke is transitioning to drones, and he's gonna make a pincer maneuver on the right hand side here, but the rhinos are not in position. Ed with a lot of rhinos coming in here. I'm not sure whether this is a good time for Luke to be splitting. He should be pulling back to defend, but he's gonna push forward anyway. Get rid of the spiders and the rhinos on the right hand side. Elite coming out here for Ed. Meanwhile, all the rhinos on the left hand side here has been droned. As my nose is going fully blocked here, full nasally. And the remaining 3 on 2 rhinos here. 3 on 1, the elite comes out, the elite goes down. So fair trade from both of them. More drones coming in here for Luke to defend. And on the back of that, Ed's eco is slowly going down here. He needs to sell. He's on 5 walls there, minus on dirt. Only has 2 miners working efficiently, so he needs to sell Ed here, or he needs to expand, but I don't think the expansion will be good for him because it's gonna take a lot of time for Ed to regain his eco. Meanwhile, Luke is gonna come in again here with another forces rhino. Is gonna target those miners. Even more miners being targeted here. Luke's gonna do a pullback, get rid of more rhinos. They're not looking good for Ed. Luke did sell a couple of war factories there to help him with his eco, but Ed is going broke so many times here. The lack of micro on the miners is not looking good for him. You know Luke is gonna target those miners even more now, knowing that Ed is broke. Alting the refinery as well. That's gonna get rid of the only efficient working refinery there. So good movements out of Luke here. Ed does sell a couple wars. And the flag there, I think, was a misclick. So Luke left with 2 wars here. His miners are dry as well. There's 1 miner with a bit of gold left on the left. And it's gonna long distance mine these gems. Is that Cordy bomb? I guess it is a Costco bomb. But it's not looking good for Ed right now. Leben, I feel, man. I played Path twice on stream, and then I decided I got mad with him. I said, fuck you, stop talking and play. I almost beat him on dry heat once, but he engined me and I raged out. So Ed is gonna long distance these gems here down in mid. Gonna take a fight once again here, and it's not looking good. He's taking a fight when his tank control isn't there, nor is his fodder. But Ed has finally microed his miners to that patch along the top. He has a rebuild as well. He does have an MCV. The Connie bomb there is gonna come out once again. That's always available for Ed. Connie bomb going down. Luke wants to target his miners here, but Ed does have a good eco after getting back and microing those miners on the top left or top mid. This is where I think the MCV cell from Luke isn't really a good thing, because Ed, the MCV cell basically is an all-in from Luke. If he doesn't survive it, if Ed survives the MCV cell's eco boost, then he's in trouble because he's not going to be able to expand to any all patches. His eco is going to go down and he won't be able to make more war factories here. But let's see whether the boost will help him here. And it's gonna take a fight once again. Reinforcements from Luke coming on the cliff, so it's gonna help him a lot. The colonies are really late. Obviously they are slow, but the micro from Luke there is really good to push in and target those rhinos. Clicking on those rhinos individually when fodder is available for Ed. So Ed again here needs to expand down towards the top left hand area where there's more eco for him. He can buy time here while Luke does not have that many rhinos on the field. But Ed is still gonna take the fight, of course, as we know and love him to be. He's gonna get rid of the miners on gem. This is gonna be huge for Luke. Reach for Ed, and big disappointment for Luke here. Those miners are full on gems while Luke is on 3k, Ed is on 6k at the moment. He needs to pull this miner back to bank before it dies. Ed's gonna still push in here while Luke is gonna split down on the top, getting rid of his eco. So this is quite literally going down to the wire. Both players went broke, both players regained their eco, but on the back of this, Luke lost so many miners here. The fight down in the middle as well. Luke is gonna win that, but he did lose one miner on gems. He's left with 3 miners now, 1 full on gems as well. And his eco is slowly dwindling down. And still has an MCV. He still has the opportunity to move and remake his, rebuild his eco here with efficient refineries as well. But he's gonna stubbornly stay in that little corner while Luke has time to rebuild. Luke trying to split on the right hand side as well. This is a very, very long intense game here. We're coming up to the 12th minute on Heck. More refineries going down and more splits coming in from both Luke and Ed. Yeah, Luke powering through that desolator. He wants to get rid of that MTV there. It's gonna put Ed on low power. Oh, not yet actually. The radar's still alive. And it's gonna split there, but the lack of tank control on the right hand side here because he is prepping for another split. Luke on the left. Central guns are out. It's gonna pull in a couple miners there, but Luke is slowly splitting him apart. This is a perfect way of how to distract your opponent there. Another war factory out for Ed. He does have the eco for it, but only at the moment. And Luke coming in with another split here down to his top mid. Luke is keeping under pressure onto Ed here. Ed getting a taste of his own medicine. The miners are huge targets here. One goes down on the refinery. 4 or 5 more miners along the top here, but Luke is gonna pull back and target those miners individually. Sentry guns out for Ed. I'm not sure whether how much that's gonna help here. Where is the split from Luke here? 2 rhinos on the right hand side. Could be targeting these miners right now. And this is the point where Luke starts hitting 0 on his eco. So he has to deny Ed this eco here. Ed obviously building another refinery. Another war factory, sorry. Which is not the best thing you want to do right now when his eco is in trouble. He opts for Tesla troopers from the barracks to defend. That's how you know it's a last minute situation here. 4 factories out for Ed now. Luke is still on 2 and is broke. Is absolutely broke here. Ed's gonna finally make its move towards Luke's base. He's gonna target the miners again. Luke needs the eco, but he is not able to keep up. GG 2-0 to Ed. What a game. What an absolute game here. Brave Maker, what's up? Welcome, dude. Forgot super weapons on Ixa. What? It's very late. I'm just gonna deploy that from Luke. Ixa, what the fuck? Ixa, come on, you know better than that. Super weapons? And screen reads? Oops. Super weapons in a 1v1 game? When it's on a map like Heck? What? This is chop suey, yeah. Super weapons are rarely built, it depends on the map. On small maps like Dry Heat, City Under Siege, Landmarks, you often see super weapons, but yeah, it depends on the map, man. It depends on the map. Alright, let's go. Oh dude, aerials, yeah, aerials are amazing. I like spiders as well. Bam! Perfect timing. Alright, here we are. Dorado, so they swapped spawns here after Luke's screen froze for that first one. Unfortunately, I do not call this Legend Descent anymore because Legend doesn't play my show matches. I've asked him so many times to play against a couple of guys, but he said no. He said no, he's too busy for RA2. And then I see him playing a show match against someone else. I'm like, no. A Legend hates me now. It's sad. Epic cry. I'm epic hands, absolutely. That's alright. Well, I'll get Legend back. FC was begging, like, not begging, but bugging Legend every couple of days for a show match. Matt especially. But I think he's more towards Yuri now, I think, than anything else. For Legend and Marco show match, except yeah, I'll probably need to get that down actually. I haven't seen them play in quite a bit. We've had Marco, Woody. We're got announcement here right now. Let's off against Woody. This is a 5 PM GMT. Not 5 PM GMT. 2:30 PM GMT, I think. Yeah. So we're gonna have that happen in a couple days, 2 days time. It's for $50 actually. I think a YouTube viewer joined our Discord and then wanted to have a show match against both of them. So we're gonna see a proper show match against Lataf and Woody now. Where's it, OP? What's up, Frank? So already we have a double war from Luke. Ed does get a minor drone. I think he will get a service depot in time. So double war out of Luke. That's gonna help him expand just a little bit more, but it is gonna make him prone to double drones here. Just like that. Excuse me. So add drones to miner along the top. It's gonna decrease the chances of that drone or that miner making it in time to the service depot. I think he will get it in time. Yep, he definitely will. Just in the nick of time. Then Ed goes for a second drone. Time is running out. 3, 6, 7 minus for Ed. Luke's on 6 as well. 7's is about coming out. I think the 7 for Ed here is about to come out as well. Oh, J-Card, I know, right? I know, right? Hopefully I can get the sponsors for it. Dude, all the money that I've been sponsoring and Matt has been sponsoring. Matt obviously has been sponsoring because the FC gets the FC fund, right? There's from the FC channel and subs and whatnot. But in terms of show matches, we're not monetized on YouTube just yet. So currently we're not getting any money back from the show matches. That's why you should definitely sub to the FC YouTube if you're not yet. But in terms of viewers, we do get quite a bit of viewers. But in terms of the money that gets paid back from the show matches, it's not that much. So it's definitely a lot more for entertainment than anything else. So Ed immediately with 4 wars here. Luke is on 4 as well. Miner getting drone, both expanding to the different patches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 minus. Then Luke here on the way does get a miner out here. Split coming from Ed. I think Ed was too busy in the mid here. Meanwhile, Luke is able to snipe a miner. Luke is so good at doing this. Early game splits to snipe a miner or a war factory is absolutely amazing, and especially at bigger maps, which is why the maps he's picked are relatively big maps like Heck and Dorado, where he can utilize his splits really, really well. So Ed down to 3 war factories now. 10 miners. Oh, this is barely 11 miners now. 1 on gems as well. See here, top left, Luke is wanting to split, but Ed just pushes it away slightly. Luke is long distance mining those gems. Probably should place it into this ref instead. Just a lot closer. It's on 4 walls now. And another split incoming here from Luke down towards bottom right. Ed does see it. Stop disappearing war factory. Does he have the tank control to deal with it though? When he's busy microing. Luke does and Ed does as well. That's the 5th war factory out from Ed. And Luke is out tanking Ed here down by the left mid, so he has to be careful again. Reinforcements coming in from Luke here to his bottom right. Luke is gonna be able to snipe a miner. 2 miners here, 1 with gems as well. So War Factory down top right is going down. Ed is too busy around the top here. Miners are gonna get hit in the middle back in his base. Meanwhile, Ed pushes Luke back to his own base. So Luke in trouble here. He will need to get reinforcements before Ed can push him all the way back to his base where he can do some damage now. Reinforcements do come in and Luke is gonna push Ed all the way back. So no counter from Ed just yet. But how many miners did Ed lose? There's so many. 1, 2 miners right at the start there of Luke's split. And he's gonna have to micro these miners as well because they are mining dirt at the moment. Yeah, it is. It is. Ed trying to push on the right side here, but Luke does have reinforcements. Ed again shouldn't overcommit. There's no fodder from Ed either. The fodder is all sitting back in base, not pushing in. He's gonna use the drones to delay and push back the split by Luke. On the back of this, Luke selling his MCV, 2, 4, 6 war factories, and 1 gold patch left fresh. So Ed defending well here. Luke is actually splitting up and putting in a lot of pressure onto Ed, and even more miners getting hit here. They're gonna try and avoid those miners, and he does successfully. Oh no! Rhino's getting droned there, and on the left side as well. Ed looking to be spread thin here. Luke absolutely putting in the work. Even more rhinos back in base to push in as well if he needs to. Ed resulting to drones for a lot of the time to defend. All Ed's miners are on 1 patch now. That patch is gonna go down like butter in a hot pan. And on the back of that, Ed was only left with 4 rhinos and a ton of miners. And Luke is gonna come in again, obviously, with a high number of rhinos here again with another split. Ed's eco is still stable, but he's still opting for drones here because he's out tanked so much. This is reminiscent of the first Arabian Oasis game where Luke started making drones, eventually leading to a very slow death here. Could this be the same for Ed? I'm not too sure. Luke is gonna come in once again here, ignoring the drones. He's gonna hit those miners. Obviously, that's all of Ed's miners except for 1. He will be able to get all of them, even though he might sacrifice a bunch there. That he absolutely can sacrifice him because Ed does not have a high number of rhinos at all. He's gonna run away and split his MCV there. So all of Ed's miners go down except for 4. And all of Luke's rhinos go down as well. And Luke cleaning up the pushing force here from Ed as well. And then Ed just quitting out. GG. That's gonna be 2-1. 2-1 for Ed right now, after a very amazing performance from Luke. So on a map like Yin Yang, relatively sized, not that huge, not that small. But in terms for LukeZ, size definitely matters. For Luke, size definitely matters here. He is definitely in a strong point when he is playing maps that are pretty huge and he can utilize those splits well. And on the other hand, it's on an advantage on maps that's pretty small or medium size where he can pressure up with 0 and probably force the opponents in the corner. So Luke anticipating that drone onto the miner. It's getting a couple of colonies down in that pit. Yeah, so Ed and Latov I think probably has a similar map style in terms of what maps they pick. Obviously Latov loves these small maps here. Double drone out from Ed. Latov loves small maps where he can utilize desos and everything. And choke points, and Ed loves small maps in terms of how he can use the aggressiveness, his aggressiveness in his gameplay. Oof. Bad move out of Luke there. So double drone from both players. Fortunately that double drone is not being used to defend this 0 from Ed. 1 misses, 1 goes in. Yeah, and Eddie, Luke immediately sending that miner to repair. Doing that drone, and that rhino is right there. So Ed has 3 miners behind with this. Luke has 3 as well. We'll play something for double drone, and then Luke, once seeing that Ed is going 0, he does cancel his miner and go 1 or 2 as well. I think Ed did go 1 miner behind that war factory. Time is running out. Yeah, Ed definitely went 1 behind the rhinos there. So the split coming in from Ed towards bottom left. He's gonna try and get rid of that paradrop. Oh, the drone coming around the back. They're not really working out for him. So Luke's still on. Oh, he's on 4 miners now. Ed is on 3 still. He's on double war though, so he's gonna expand down towards that bottom right hand side for that gold. Cheeky maneuvers out of Luke here. He's gonna walk a bunch of colonies down to his top right. Ed does pull a miner and put a refinery and a sentry gun down there. On in top right, while he's following up with rhinos as well. Well, Luke has to be careful there. Ed has to be careful as well. Ed out tanking there along the sentry guns. Luke doesn't want to take that fight. He definitely is not a good idea there. He's gonna back up whenever he can. The colonies are coming out of the top right now, getting rid of that refinery. Good use of the X button there to scatter your units so you don't get squished by the miner. And meanwhile, Ed using his own paradrop onto the top left there. You won't get that oil, however. So Luke's still on 1 war here. Ed is already on 2. Luke should have a 2nd war by now. He does have a good number of miners up. But the forward aggression from Luke here not really paying off as much. He did lose a tank fight on the right there. He did pull back, but I think a huge number of rhinos that did go down. Again, Ed onto the bottom left hand side. They want to get rid of that paradrop. So his refinery and paradrop on top right is safe. Also no use of fodder as well. He does get rid of it. He's going to move towards the left hand side here. Luke just pulling back a little bit late to reply as well. Ed sees that and pulls back as well. Top right though, Luke targeting that paradrop inside of the sentry gun. And drones coming in here from Ed. So Luke on double war now, triple war actually. Ed is still on double. Interesting, so Luke is gonna expand towards the top left hand now. Hello, start to YouTube. That's for fuck's sake. Ooh, big engagement there in the middle. Ed does have the fodder, but Luke does have the micro to individually click the rhinos. Bye bye, rhinos. And Luke can make another push. Here, Ed maybe just caught off guard. Ed needs to be really careful here in how he engages. The miners are getting targeted once again. Luke sniping and yet another miner there. This is a trend when you're playing Luke here. Your miners will get sniped in war factories with this little splits here. And Luke splitting along the top here, bringing in reinforcements as well. Down goes 1. Down goes 2. Fodder is coming in here, but Luke does have the micro as he's shown to click the rhinos individually. It looks like Luke is winning this fight at the moment. Elite coming out from Luke as well. Paradrop's gonna go down, double elite from Luke. Luke, he knows. He absolutely knows. What the hell? There's a double elite coming out from Luke. He says, lol, laughing out loud because he's surprised as well with that double elites. So Ed's gonna have to be really careful. That double elite can do a lot of damage. He's gonna try and save that double elite whenever he can. And then the split coming into his bottom right as well. Ed's eco doing good actually, better than Luke's. But the pressure coming in from Luke here, absolutely amazing. And now Ed opts for drones, which is the one thing that he doesn't want to do here. Luke's one of the elitist drones. Second one's about to get droned here. So not much in value of the elites, but Ed's definitely lost his game now. It should be 2-2. More miners going down here means that less eco available for Ed. Luke in the meantime does have time to rebuild and expand towards top left. And Luke has been denying Ed that top right expansion for so long here, and eventually Ed goes down. It is all tied up now, 2-2. Alright, for all the marbles here. Ed did pick Tiger Bay earlier, which Luke was really smart to... Smart and wise to not play Ed on Tiger Bay. Tiger Bay is one of Ed's best maps. Ed absolutely loves that map. And in a pinch, he can definitely take you down there. Especially if he goes ally there, being aggressive, going 0, taking out your expansions, and then you're left with no eco. And you're sitting there like, what the fuck just happened? But we are on Golden State Valley now for all the marbles. The winner of this will get all 3 points here. But the loser did get 2 points, so it's not that bad for them. So both players have been playing exceptionally well here. Ed has been really good with dealing with LukeZ's splits. And Luke has been on the ball here. It's actually really weird to see Ed the one getting pressured instead of Luke. Instead of him being the one pressuring instead. So on the maps that Ed has won, I think LukeZ has probably committed a little bit too much onto his pressure and splits that he got pushed back pretty early on. But both drones do pass each other around mid. And Sedrigan's at the ready here. Ed does go 0. He definitely going 0 here, so Ed is gonna try and pressure up onto these 2 miners down in mid. One on gems, the other one does get droned. And in comes Ed with 3 rhinos here. Luke should be able to spot this split and pull away the drone miner, and Luke's miner does go down as well. And Ed definitely wants to get that miner that's drone there. It's gonna get rid of it. No, the micro is gonna lose that miner. He opted to sell that service depot back in bids because he saw Ed coming in and build another one, but it's not good enough for Luke here. That miner does go down. It was full with gold as well, and Ed can keep up the pressure here. Obviously going 0, double gems, considered as 4 miners on gold. That was another miner for Luke here. So this is Ed's bread and butter here, pressuring down in the early game. With 0 minus from the War Factory, and Luke sells his MCV there to keep up the production. So he only has 1 War Factory left here, Luke. Ed already expanding up really nicely. But it is not looking good for Luke currently. He is down in MCV. He is down so many miners here. And Ed can just play the waiting game here and wait for Luke to finish him off here. He's down to 1 singular miner. I think a split there just got the miner down to his bottom left. But Luke, again, going in for a fight where he doesn't need to. Ed is definitely going to be able to overpower him there. And this is GG. Luke just threw away a bunch of his rhinos down in mid when Ed clearly had the advantage there. And GG is being called, and series, as per my prediction, goes away 3-2 towards Ed, and that is it.